Hi, I'm the Wolf Witch. I hate introductions, but I also don't like raw dogging the video. Just like, okay, we're gonna start. So I'm trying to break it off by showing up I'm trying to break it up by showing off my mug collection. So this is Jason Funderburger. I hope you understand the reference. And today I'm trying an Alice in Wonderland tea. Again, it's not Earl Grey this time. It's a watermelon mint, and it doesn't sound that good, but it is, and that's probably because there's not a lot of actual watermelon in it. But anyway, if you were interested, that's what I'm drinking, and today we're gonna talk about the Cuban spirit. So again, I like to meditate with the spirit before I actually ask it any questions, and I started receiving like visions of a couple dancing. And just before like we start, I guess I want to preface this by saying that I didn't really have any experience with Cumin prior to that spell that I did, which caused me to, you know, make a promise to Jupiter that I would meditate with it. But yeah, so I didn't really know much about the Cumin spirit, and then I kind of just like wrote down what I received, and then afterwards I looked it up, and a lot of the stuff was like lining up with each other. So you know, for those of you who are familiar with the Cumin spirit, you'd probably be like, yeah, duh, love is one of its aspects, but I didn't know that. So I just saw like a couple dancing together, and I kind of like just knew that it was talking about love. It looked like it was in an animation, so I was confused about what that was about. I wasn't sure if it was talking to me about creativity or what that was supposed to represent, but yeah, I just saw a couple dancing, and then kind of like these messages of not having any guilt or any shame, and particularly shame about one's body was what I had received. And then I also kind of got the feeling that dancing is a form of worship for this plant spirit. Or art, along with the animation thing again, could be a way to like venerate the spirit. Yeah, just like more messages about releasing guilt and shame. Which makes sense because it's a Martian plant, which, I mean, I asked it and it said Mars, and then afterwards I looked it up and it was Mars, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I feel like the energy of Mars is very like unabashed, I suppose, very shameless, very much like this is who I am, deal with it, especially when you consider Aries. So yeah, that was just kind of like my first impressions. But when I asked it to describe itself, it gave me the Three of Cups, the Tower in reverse, and then the Five of Coins also in reverse. Let me double check that you can see that. Sorry about the overhead light. I don't want it to be like too strong. Alrighty. So basically the messages that I got here were that it would help you break bad habits with the Three of Cups. Obviously, you know, the Three of Cups can be celebration sometimes, but with the Tower lingering there and then the Five of Coins, it just made me think of like people who drink too much or they party too much. It's just like bad habits. And that it helps you have Tower moments to break bad habits. Which, I mean, it also is like which I later found out like an herb for exorcism, so that kind of makes sense to me too. Like Tower moments happen to clear out all that bullshit. And then the Five of Coins in reverse to me is just kind of like spiritual poverty, which is like, it can mean many things, but I'm sure we all kind of know what that means, like being depressed, being sad, being having lack mindset, which, you know, I mean, I have my grievances with the concept of lack mindset sometimes, but I think we know what what it means in general. I do feel like some spiritualists tend to ignore, you know, very real oppressive systems, but this is not the video for that. So just so you know, yeah, spiritual poverty. Yeah, so that's just kind of what, like, the vibe I got from that. I asked it what it was here to teach me. Let's see if I could find it. And I got the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Moon card, and then Death in reverse. So for me personally, I just got the feeling it was here to help me with my self-esteem issues and my impatience. And then my fear and resistance to change, obviously with Death in reverse. And then when I asked it, what change am I resisting? I got the Nine of Swords. So that was just kind of like, you know, more fears, especially with the moon here. It's just kind of reiterating like, bitch, you're full of fear. And getting rid of that. So maybe that's something that can help you, or something you would like to use the Cumin spirit for, or the plant in spell work. But yeah, just helping me with like my resistance to change and to stop choosing fear, I suppose. Then afterwards I asked, when would you like people to call on you? And I received the Five of Coins in reverse again, the 10 of Coins, and then Temperance also in reverse. So again, the spiritual poverty mindset, but the 10 of Coins was interesting to me because it made me think of family problems, and then I audiently heard marital problems. So yeah, again, like, which is funny because, again, like, later I found out it's used for fidelity magic. So it does help with marital issues, and I guess it just wishes more people would use it in those kinds of spell works. Family problems, marital problems, spiritual poverty mindset, mending, and then it says literal and figurative temperance. So again, this aspect of exorcism, right? I feel like a lot of people tend to use things like rosemary and sage, and like people don't really use cumin when they think of exorcism or banishment or getting rid of like negative habits or, again, mindsets. So yeah, that was just kind of like the messages I got there. And then creating generational wealth, which was interesting. And again, later I found out that it's used for abundance magic. So that's pretty cool that I'm able to confirm like these messages I'm receiving later on, and then they happen to like match up. And then the last question I asked it was just a message you would like to send the world. We got the Page of Wands in reverse. We got the Eight of Coins also in reverse. And then Tower also in reverse. And then for this, I received the message that it just wants people to stop being so critical of themselves, to call into question your personal beliefs and whether they're actually yours, like to really question where they stemmed from, which is like shadow work and, again, exorcisms, and to stop holding back. So hopefully that's a good message for you guys today if you needed to hear that. But we have yeah, so later on, I just have like a small list of things that I looked up, and it says Mars. So that's pretty cool that I was able to get the right planet. We have protection, fidelity, love, lust, interesting. Exorcism, repels evil, tranquility, binding, peace, and abundance. So yeah, if you guys need help with any of that, maybe consider calling upon the Cumin spirit, especially if you're having marital problems, or if you want love. Because I feel like when people think of love magic, they think lavender, they think rose, they think, you know, a number of flowers, but then they'll also think, I don't know, like literally anything other than cumin. Cinnamon. Cinnamon's another one that's common in love magic. But I don't think people call upon cumin, I mean, in general, as much as, you know, one would, but... And maybe that's just because people don't tend to have that, like, in their kitchen ready to go most of the time. But, yeah, I mean, like, if you have cumin lying around, or if you want to go out of your way to get some, it's not that pricey. So yeah, you know, you can make yourself some curry and then you can cast a love spell afterwards. Who's gonna stop you? I hope this was helpful. I guess I'll see you in the next one.